Nations Championship 2026. Round 1, game number 3 comes from Sydney, where the Wallabies take on Ireland. In my opinion, this has the potential of being either one of the closest games of the weekend, or it could turn into a complete blowout. If we look at the experience, we can see that Ireland have 892 caps, which is a bit more than Australia's 757, over 100 more. However, both teams are probably slightly inexperienced when it comes to the number 10 jerseys. Sam Prendergast still has his critics both in Ireland and everyone else in the world of rugby. However, he has hit a bit of a purple patch, and he had a reasonably good end to the season with Leinster, accumulated winning that URC title against the Bulls a couple of weeks ago at Croke Park. And inside him, he's got one of the most reliable and certainly one of the best scrum halves in the world in Jimson Gibson Park. If we look at the Wallabies, on the other hand, though, they've got two relatively inexperienced rookies in Ryan Lonergan, Carter Gordon. Carter Gordon coming back into the Wallabies after a 3-year absence playing in NRL, and some of the Irish pundits have targeted him this week, bringing up how poor some of his performances were in the build-up and during the 2023 World Cup. There's no doubt there's a good player there, it just could be that he's going to have some big rigs in Stuart McCloskey, Jamie Osborne and Rob Baloucoune potentially run down his channel, and that's just in the backline. Where Ireland definitely have the advantages in the pack, which is made up of a predominantly Leinster front five, with the exception of Tom O'Toole, and also in the back three, Cian Pendergast, who has come off the back of a very good season for Connacht. He gets the nod in the number 6 jersey ahead of Tadhg, who's also coming back from an injury with Munster. Dan Sheehan captains from the front in the absence of regular skipper Caelan Doris, but you know it's not too bad when you lose your captain. You can just bring in a British and Irish line, multiple British and Irish line test player in Jack Conan, who again, I can't remember the last time I've seen him have a bad game. Absolutely outstanding player both sides of the ball. I'm sure he'll be part of everything Ireland want to do well this weekend. The Wallaby pack does look a little bit lighter, perhaps a little less experienced, but that back three, a very, very dangerous unit. All three of them showed last year in the British and Irish Lions tour, particularly Rob Valentini with a calf hanging off, just how good they can be around the pitch. And although they might not want to get into the sort of arm wrestle that Ireland might want to impose on them, certainly these guys in broken field and over the ball are very, very, very dangerous. In the backfield, outside the halfbacks, you know, there's some real quality in that midfield in Len Ikitau and Joseph Asuku Swahiliti. Ikitau's coming off the back of an excellent season on loan at Exeter, or sabbatical with Exeter Chiefs, and Joseph Asuku Swahiliti, although he kind of maybe tapered off in terms of his impact since moving over from league, certainly has the skill set and the aerial prowess to cause Ireland problems and potentially diffuse the box kick and the high kicking game that Ireland might try to impose. The Wallaby bench has some decent experience coming off it, particularly with the old timer James Slipper, who won his 152nd cap. Perhaps it just shows a lack of depth in Australian rugby and front row stocks. They're still relying on I think he's almost the same age as me, James Slipper, and the absolute Tongan Thor that is Taniela Tupou off the back of his first season in Racing. He'll certainly add some ballast and power around the field when he comes on, and they've got some pretty decent operators in Tom Hooper, who again also had an excellent season, his first season at Exeter. Tate McDermott's pretty handy, and Tom Wright is also an excellent finisher, he showed last year in the British and Irish Lions too. Ireland have got a decent bench to call on as well. Could be a good opportunity to get some more minutes into the likes of Jeremy Loughman and Thomas Clarkson to keep building on their front row stocks. Tadhg, as I've aforementioned, coming off the back of that injury, they'll be looking to try and get some minutes into him before they take on Pannin in New Zealand in a few weeks' time. Craig Casey can add a real injection of pace when he comes off the bench as well, and Kieran Frawley might get a decent crack of the whip as well, depending on the performance of Sam Prendergast. Hopefully it's not a blowout for the Irish, and here's hoping it's a competitive fixture.